I just dreamed, and then I dared.
Well, yeah, you used that phrase. You know, you dared to dream. What exactly was the dream?
Well, the dream was for me to have more of a life than making a living, and that is to cook, to teach, to travel, to write, and to love.
Right.
I had been a single mother for 21 years in the Philippines, and I decided I could have a second chance.
Right. This is quite a change from, I mean, you mentioned it, many years driving in a figurative sense,
Yes.
driving a company as the CEO.
As opposed to driving an RV.
Right, as a CEO, and you know, at one point you said, you know, I'm going to go and follow a dream.
A dream, yes.
You went off on many great adventures.
Yes.
Met your husband.
I met him online, by the way.
Right. Decided to just sort of you know, make a major turn.
Throw the caution to the wind. Yeah, and drive.
And you guys haven't or didn't stop driving. Where did the adventure start?
It started in Seattle, Washington. That's where I met him, and then we married, and then he said, why not RV?
Okay.
On a never-ending honeymoon.
All right, okay.
You know, going through different places, everything was celebrated in the Arctic Circle, for instance, an anniversary.
Right.
Or in Yosemite, or in Yellowstone, things like that.
Okay, well, you know, when the idea of travel, people usually think about booking a hotel, finding a resort, jumping on a plane, business class if I can.
Yes. But this is your own hotel that you carry along with you.
Driving across America in an RV is a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's 350 square feet, by the way, of living space when we're camped.
Right.
And then you don't have to pack or unpack. And then you can stay in a place for as long as you want because there's so many things interesting to see.
Right.
Or leave it and go to the next place because you didn't find anything interesting at all.
Right. There's so many firsts in this great adventure you've had. I mean, like you said, after a long time of being a single mom, you decided to go out there, put yourself out there. You met your husband. The whole process of, like you call it, your extended honeymoon, living together in a cozy
environment.
In a very cozy environment.
Yeah, and where there is no room to argue.
Okay. Well, like you said, the adventure started in Seattle. Did I catch that right? How do you even map out a route, or how do you even begin to...
There is an efficient route to cover the United States, and it's out there on the net, but we didn't. We were driven by circumstances like, for example, I had to turn back all the way from Florida with the RV to Seattle because my application for U.S. citizenship was in danger.
Right.
Because I received the mail for the appointment a day late.
Okay.
So there's so many dangers like that. So we had to go drive from Florida to Washington in 2 months. And that was a hell of a drive.
Right. Well, you know, give people a bit more of an idea of what it's like to travel, you know,
in an RV.
RV style.
Yes.
Over such a long period, over the entire
5 years.
Over the entire America.
Yes. North America.
Right. I mean,
including 9 Canadian provinces and 6 Mexican states.
Wow. Okay.
Including to the pyramids of Mexico, and from the Arctic Circle to the pyramids of Mexico in 6 months.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Of course, all of this has been well. You blogged about it. I mean,
since 2010.
Right. Throughout your journeys, you had regular installments, which you know,
I was keeping a digital scrapbook.
People started to really sort of latch on and follow and travel vicariously.
I had 30,000 views in a month.
Oh, right.
And so I said, maybe I could write a book.
Okay. Well, why do you think so many people traveled along with you via your blog and found so much interest in the adventures that you had?
Most of the readers are Americans.
Right.
But the American dream is not like our version of American dream. Their American dream is to really be free.
Right.
Out on the vast boondocks of America, traveling in an RV. And that was my husband's American dream.
Right.
My American dream was different. And so both of our dreams dovetailed, and we did this. But he did all the driving, of course.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
you know, he was at my beck and call.
There you go. Okay. Well, you certainly. It sounds like you really did make good on your dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, tell us a few, interesting stories. And I know the pages are full of them. I don't know how you even, when somebody asks you this question, how do you even choose from so many interesting stories and interesting anecdotes that you have?
Oh yes, the book was actually 90,000 words long before the editors said, and it's now just 50,000.
Okay.
I had to trim
If the trip
down.
was long, the book was long.
And I had to trim it down because of the most important events. Like, for example, when I was at the Arctic Circle, it was really a place where I said, wow, I'm really in a new phase in my life.
Okay.
Nobody was there, no plants, no trees for miles, and it was very cold. But then I said, this is new and interesting, and I really would like to do it over and over again.
Right.
And then you go next to the Keys, the Florida Keys, and then you have this highway that's long, and on both sides are palm trees and water, nothing else. And it's very long, and it connects all the islands there, just like probably one of the bridges we have here, San Juanico, no? But longer, much longer. So, and our campground was, our RV was camped in a campground that was surrounded by water on 3 sides, and the highway on the other. Okay. That's all. It was just a tiny piece of land, and everybody was just having fun, having, martinis and everything, all the whole day. It's different types of adventures, from up north where you're so cold, and to down south where you're in the beach in your bikini and all those things. Very different.
Is it possible to even choose a favorite stop or a favorite spot?
Oh yes,
yeah.
I have a favorite spot, and that's what we chose to be in. We are now camped in Arizona.
Okay.
Because
what is it about Arizona that
the Grand Canyon is there, Sedona, a lot of beautiful places, and I felt it was much like the Philippines. The southwest of the U.S. was actually conquered and occupied by the Spaniards and Mexicans at the same time we were.
Right.
We had that same history. We were also given to the United States at the same time. The Southwest was given to the United States at the same time that the Philippines was, when the Mexican-American War was won by the Americans and the Spanish-American War was won here. So I felt the kinship.
Right.
So there were many places I felt the kinship with the Philippines, many places entirely different from the Philippines.
We're seeing some great pictures from your adventures.
You're doing a great job of featuring this book. I'd like to commend you.
Look at this. It's fantastic. Some of the places that you've been. It's a great way to discover your new home, America, what its history and culture is all about firsthand. I mean, really just sort of living it.
The average number of states that Americans go to is about 10.
Right.
But I've gone to all.
In a short span of a few years, you seem to have topped everybody else by seeing the entire America.
No, but I felt that was what an immigrant can contribute to a new country. And also I discovered I'm not really just an American. I am really a Filipino American.
Okay, what to you does that mean?
I became an American. Technically, I didn't become a Filipino anymore. You had to renounce it. But then I repledged my loyalty through the dual citizenship.
Right.
And there's a treaty in the United States where you can really owe allegiance to both countries and pay taxes to both countries.
Okay.
Whatever you earn here, you pay here. Whatever you earn there, you pay there. So for 2 years, I was not a dual citizen, but I felt this thing that said, I can't be an American by renouncing my Filipino, roots.
Right, and vice versa.
It's like I cannot be a wife by renouncing my identity as a woman. I cannot be an American by renouncing my roots as a Filipino. So those two transformations came full circle for me.
Right.
Throughout this travel drives deep change.
Right.
And extended travel drives more extensive change.
Absolutely. When you have miles and miles of open road and lots of time
you have to think.
Yeah.
And commune and see why is this all happening, and why did the Lord put this here and all these things.
Right.
You have, and the transformation for me was complete. My calling card before said, Carol E. Carrion, President CEO. Guess what my calling card now says?
I'd love to see it. What does it say?
Carol Esguerra Colborn, wanderer, writer, wife.
There, perfect.
www. Because social media is very crucial.
Right, true. Tell me about some of the people, that you've met. I mean, generally when we talk about America, America to us is a country as a whole, but there are so many different kinds of America,
and races,
cultures, races, and so many differences that make this amazing melting pot that America is.
By the way, that's the word you used. I think America is turning away from being a melting pot.
Right.
I think it's becoming more a mosaic type.
Okay.
Canada is a mosaic where the natives are all preserved in one, and then the French rule it in Quebec, for example.
Okay.
And I think the same thing is happening in America. That's why I don't think I got boiled into the soup, melting in the pot.
Right.
I got mixed into the chunky stew.
Right.
By retaining my own flavor.
Oh, I like the way you. I like it. Really
That's
like
in
the
the
way
book.
you've put that.
Yeah. So I felt very Filipino, and in the beginning I was going through adjustment changes with my husband and with others.
Right.
There was a story where a certain sales lady was selling to us a campground network.
Okay.
Okay, be a member of this because it's easier. But he was just talking to my husband.
Okay.
And I said, hey, I can buy too. I mean, I've had a career in the Philippines, and I thought she was totally ignoring me.
Right.
And I think it was really more because of me. I was adjusting. I felt like, I hope I'm not going to be treated in this country as a second-class citizen. And in the end, guess what? I didn't get my citizenship because of being married to an American. I got it because of my own merit.
Right.
Because I bought a house, I taught in the universities in the United States, I volunteered as a business counselor, and they gave me my citizenship without any of the other trappings like being married to a husband or being a mother of a U.S. citizen. I got it by my own merit.
Fantastic stuff. It's a travel book, it's a journey book in a very literal sense, and also in a very personal sense, it seems.
Yes. Well, I thought it would be the best way to have a travel book where there is a story that comes from behind the scenes.
Right.
When the lessons learned are as fast as the scenes change, and so it will keep the reader very interested in moving on and not putting down the book.
Right.
And I think that's the best formula, because it could be as dry as a documentary or as alive as a dramatic episode.
Right. Okay. So it's elements of everything, really.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I really like the way you've put that. I mean, you're part of a mosaic, but
I'm part
a
of a
distinct
mosaic.
piece, but a part of a total whole.
A part of a total whole,
whole.
a chunky stew.
Right.
But then the potatoes and the beef and the carrots are still there. You can see them.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. What's the feedback been from people who followed your adventures online?
30,000 views, I said, no.
Yeah.
But the book, it's been out for just 1 month in Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't realize.
It's out there.
All right.
It's been launched in the United States.
Right. Okay.
I'm coming here to launch it in the Philippines.
Right. Okay. What's the feedback been then?
Oh, I had 18 already reviews, all of them 5-star.
Good stuff.
And not only from Filipinos, it's half of them are Americans and half of them are Filipinos. And of the Filipinos, half of them are in the U.S. and half of them are here.
Okay.
So I think that defines really my market.
All right.
And I'm very gratified by the results.
Good stuff. Well, I think everybody is keen to sort of get between the covers, so to speak, and really sort of take a big bite of this fantastic adventure that you've had. You're going to be having a book signing event. The details are up on screen. It's going to be at Fully Booked High Street. Go ahead and invite everyone to come out and get their book signed.
Oh, yeah. Come on, everybody, and join us. This is my poster, actually, which is the same thing, the same poster used in the United States.
Right.
And as successful in the United States in Seattle launch, I hope you will all come to join us at Fully Booked. 3 to 6 p.m. I'll be there. I probably will make a presentation around 3:30, but then I will be there for signing a lot of books up to 6 p.m.
All right. Well, fantastic stuff. I hope this is just the start of many more great adventures.
The sequel is Carolina Cruising to a Global Mindset.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, how do you top an adventure like this?
We are now covering the world. We have visited 15 countries in Europe, And we have visited 5 countries in Asia, and I have to cover other continents. It's about global empathy.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next book. But it will take a little more time.
Well, first things first. Let's start with your adventures here. You know, congratulations on the success of the book. You know, like you said, it's already been received very, very well. And here's to more adventures.
Thank you so much, Paolo.
Real pleasure.
Hey, come to our RV. Join us.
Okay. Well, up next, UP